Greetings, everyone. Hoping this message is finding you well and safe and healthy and patient and diligent in thinking. So it's been about a week or so since I gave you a critical thinking exercise. And this week, I thought I'd give you another one. Today, I want you to focus on two words: privilege and advantage. What is your understanding of the difference between privilege and advantage? Well, like I always do, I'm going to use nature or tell you a story first, and then we'll make this about work. So right now in the animal kingdom somewhere is a lion cub being born. And this cub, if you know anything about lion prides, is there is a certain order of things, certain order of leadership, certain order of respect, and then ultimately there's an order of who gets to eat first. This cub is not eating first, right? So it spends its whole life watching other people eat first. Other people get the best places to sleep. Other lions, I should say, having all of these benefits by nature of where they are in the hierarchy. So of course then this lion cub will spend its whole childhood, youth if you will, watching what other people are having as a result of where they are in the pecking order. Do you believe that that describes privilege or advantage for those lions that get to eat first? Is that privilege or is that an advantage? Well, now let's take it to the workplace. If I've had the honor of partnering with you on a training or at a conference virtually, of course, I'm always talking about psychological safety. And one of the first words in that safety is accountability. And accountability is something that most people cannot, in a group, come up with the same definition of, because it means something to us, and then we live our lives according to what the word means to us, not the dictionary. So here's the literal definition of accountability: to be in a position to explain the result or the outcome. That's it. To be in a position to explain it. Whenever I ask this question, the groups tend to laugh, but it's a funny till it's not funny thing. How many of you have the word accountability in a culture statement or culture poster, organizational culture document? The word accountability is there. By show of hands, how many of you have that? And then by show of hands, how many of you have an award for your organization called the Most Accountable Employee Award? Hands never go up. How many of you have ever even heard of the Most Accountable Employee Award? Hands don't go up. Why am I bringing this up? It's because, in my experience, we are weaponizing words that are not intended or designed to be that way. We have weaponized the word accountability. The only time I hear it at work is if I hear something like, Alonzo would get more work done if he held himself more accountable. That team would produce better results if there was more accountability on that team. We've weaponized it, but it's the very thing that we say we want people to be. So now let's go back to this concept of privilege. We've weaponized it. So what if I tell you, as a cub, I was told that in order for me to get out of the circumstances or situation I'm in, was to have privilege. What if privilege was the goal? Ever thought about that? What we say now is we've weaponized privilege, and whenever somebody has an advantage or seems to receive a benefit, then we weaponize privilege. But what we're not doing is asking ourselves, I wonder what the beginning of that story is like. So if I have privilege today, and somebody decided to weaponize it against me, would you be confused if I said thank you? If you grow up without something, then whatever it is that you believe is preventing you from living the life you want becomes the goal. privilege was never the weapon? What if privilege was the goal? But now you need to ask yourself, does privilege give me an advantage, or exercising an advantage give me privilege? I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. Here's what I want you to do with it. I want you to first define for yourself what you understand the difference between advantages and privileges. Can you exercise an advantage, and can you exercise privilege? Whenever I'm on stage, I say to people, it has been an honor and a privilege to serve you. I've never said it's been an honor and an advantage to serve you. What does that mean? And here's what I want you to do with it. 1, stop weaponizing words that have no intention to be weaponized. Privilege, advantage, accountability. 2, I want you to think about how you have both an advantage and a privilege, and how both have helped spring forward for you on where you find yourself in your career, and how not having it has held you back. How do you get it? And then finally, I want to go back to this cub. That cub was never, ever after being the king of the pride. He was just tired of eating last, and he should not be punished for that. So have fun with that, family. Advantage, privilege, accountability. They are not weapons. As always, I hope this message finds you safe and healthy and patient and diligent. And of course, as always, I hope it's finding you thinking. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you next time.